Hey friends, Dave here. Welcome to another edition of Jesus with a Twist. I tend to look at things a little different than most people. I'm not a big fan of following the herd or herd mentality. And there appears to be an elephant in the room, and that elephant in the room is that many times Christians get involved with their church, and they really get deep into it, and they get more and more involved, and they're spending more time in church, which in itself is a good thing. However, I kind of wonder about what Jesus did and what our calling is. If we look at Jesus didn't spend a whole lot of time in churches and things like that. He spent a whole lot of time out in the field, out amongst ordinary people, and preaching the good word and trying to bring them to salvation. That is a good thing. Now, if we look at what's going on currently around the world, there are three things that have already happened that need to happen in Revelation before the end of times happen. And the second coming of Jesus will usher in the remainder of things that need to happen for the rapture to occur. That is my understanding. I could be off, but that is the general understanding. So I look at this deal as in, number one, Jesus is a limited time offer. There are so many things that are already happening that are paralleling how God destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah, the fall of the Roman Empire, etc., etc. And a lot of these things are already happening in our country and around the world. Africa with, burning of churches and killing Christians. I mean, it's just really, really terrible. So zooming out to greater perspective, I'm looking at this, and Jesus is a limited time offer. So in other words, if we're not saved, we're not getting an upgrade. If we are saved, we are getting that upgrade when we go to heaven. And then I look at church, and I look at the congregates and how they all huddle together in mass, and they really don't get outside of the church as much as I would hope that they would. I believe that our primary calling in creation is to inspire people through our acts to come into salvation. End of subject. I have my own theories, and I've worked 25 years in Harley with a lot of non-believers, so I understand them fairly well. And if you say Jesus, God, church, Bible, Christians, and prayers, they go running for the woods. That's the end of that conversation. So how do you bring these people into salvation? Well, the way that I found this is through agape love. We talked about this in one of the other videos, but agape love is God's love that he has for all of us, Jesus' love that he had for all of us, self-sacrificing love, doing things for the betterment of other people without any desire for returns or things like that. That is agape love. It is encouraging, it's non-judgmental, it's everything good that you would want in love. So here we have this mechanism called agape love, and we have the ability to share love and teach people how to share agape love and get this thing rippling all around the country, all around the world. We also know that love unites and that everything else divides. But yet I look at the church, and I see this uniformly happening, is that all these Christians, they huddle amongst each other in their close little confinements, and with Jesus being a limited time offer, that the rapture could happen, and there's going to be a lot of people that don't go to heaven. So my thinking is that the church should be teaching people how to be a force multiplier, how to teach to do what Jesus did, which is have disciples and teach them in his way, so they could go out and teach other people to teach them in Jesus's way. That is what I believe we should be doing. And so I truly don't understand how the church supports this huddling of the masses when their primary responsibility should be teaching their congregates like Jesus taught his disciples, teaching the congregates how to disciple, how to be a force multiplier, how to take this word out on the road and get amongst people. Now, love, for me, love you and agape is a very easy topic to talk about, and I don't know of anyone that has a problem with love, or particularly agape love, selfless love. And so this creates a natural conversation with non-believers. But I'm truly puzzled by how churches like having these people all together, en masse together. I understand the financial aspects because churches run on money, and without money there is no church. Of course, that may not be such a bad thing, because without money there's no church, and without church you have pastors taking things out amongst the people and evangelizing to them and bringing them into salvation, which is our primary responsibility. I do applaud that. I do recognize that there are other institutions that are doing wonderful things, amazing things with bringing people to salvation. Greg Laurie's church, or Greg Laurie's Harvest Crusade, is one of them. They have this music, and through music and inspiring people, that they come into salvation. But that in my belief is our primary responsibility in life, is to inspire other people, and in the hopes that they come to Jesus and come to salvation. I mean, how terrible would it be to have a family member that's a non-believer, and they pass away and they don't go to heaven? I mean, I don't even understand that. So my appeal to you, if you're a churchgoer, is to consider these thoughts and to start increasing your diet of evangelizing to other people. Well, I'm already doing that, Dave. I talked to this friend and I did my responsibilities. Okay, good job. I applaud you for that. However, could we do better? And my belief is the answer is always yes. The answer is always yes. We can always do better. So the next question becomes, why aren't we doing better? I have no answer to that. So I would like to appeal to everyone, believers, non-believers, to try and inspire people through love and kindness to be more loving and more kind. And then as we get into more love and kindness, then we can have this discussion about Jesus. God and Jesus and agape love go hand in hand. No arguing that. Here's some interesting factoids. In King James, Jesus mentions love 70 times. In King James, love is mentioned 301 times. In the New Translation Bible, love is mentioned over 800 times. So here's this word that's woven throughout the Bible and is talked about all the time and acted on. And now we have this mechanism where we can share and inspire people through this love. But let's do better. Instead of sitting on the sidelines, let's come off the sidelines and get into the game. We have the ability to call someone and say, I love you, and I'm worried about you, and I really want you to go to heaven. Heaven is an upgrade. And then let Jesus take over from there. But I think we can do better, and let's all consider this and do better. Now, if you like what you are hearing, be sure to hit subscribe. And if you like what you heard, share this with friends, because this is a passive way of talking about love and salvation. Frankly, I think the two most compelling things about having faith in Jesus is, number one, the faith in Jesus removes all anxiety. We no longer have to worry about things because we have faith in Jesus that he's going to take care of everything. That in itself is worth the price of admission. Now, on top of that, if we are saved, we all know that we go to heaven. Well, heaven is an upgrade. So why would anyone worry about anything? Because we have faith in Jesus and we go to heaven. We get an upgrade. I mean, how great is that? So these are compelling reasons for non-believers to consider Jesus and come into salvation. We have the mechanism. We share agape love. We inspire people through agape love and kindness, and we demonstrate that to people. We show them how to do that, and then once they once they understand that and they understand how well that works, then we can start this conversation about Jesus mentioning love 70 times, love in King James 301 times, in New Translation 800 times. We can say, this is happening. So there's validity in following Jesus, faith, and heaven. Pretty cool. Anyways, I'm kind of droning on, so I'm going to end. But thank you for your time. My name is Dave from Linda and myself. We love you, and be sure to hit subscribe and share this video with your friends. Have a great day.